Yo guys, Jonathan here, and today I've teamed up with Huawei so that if you own a Mate 10 Pro, I'm going to showcase 5 of my favorite tips and tricks, and if you don't own one, I'm going to give one away. Details on how to win are down below, and it's not required, but dropping a like is much appreciated. So the first trick is super simple, but it looks cool and it helps battery life. The Mate 10 Pro has a massive 4,000 mAh battery, which is crazy to begin with. You have a couple of different power saving modes, but a small simple tweak if you dive into the menus is to toggle on the darken interface colors button. Bam, that's going to enable dark mode, which looks a lot better in my opinion, and this is going to help extend your battery life, so it's kind of a double win situation. So the next trick with the Mate 10 Pro is probably one of the coolest things about this phone. That's the fact with a single USB-C to HDMI cable, you can plug this into a monitor and it will turn into a computer. Now what's particularly awesome about this is there's no dock or hub or anything aside from the cable that you need to buy to make this work. It will work with both a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse, but chances are you're not gonna have one of those in your bag. So what's cool is if you wanna go just minimal, just the phone, the cable, and plug that into an HDMI source, you can use the Mate 10 Pro as both the mouse and keyboard using the touchscreen, which is really cool. So in the instance where you're traveling at a hotel, maybe you want a bigger screen to watch video, to check your email, or in this case, edit a photo that you took off the phone, you can do that on a larger screen, unplug, and that edited photo is right there on your phone where you left off. So this is a really cost-effective way to turn your phone into a computer. And again, the only thing you need is that USB-C to HDMI cable, which I will drop a link to down below. So next up at number 3, the Mate 10 Pro has an amazing camera, but I would definitely recommend to pick up some sort of tripod or mounting system to get the absolute most out of this camera. You have Pro mode, which is awesome, but kind of a little hidden gem on the Mate 10 Pro is their light painting section. If you actually tap that, there are 4 really awesome modes. You have tail light trails, which is perfect for capturing light movement with cars. You then of course have light graffiti, which essentially allows you to paint with a light source. It's super fun, but what's awesome is it takes the guesswork out. So if you don't want to mess with Pro mode or mess with settings, this does the work for you, and it actually works really well. So these are pretty much easy to use long exposure tricks. Another really cool one is their silky water, which will take a flowing water source and then give it this kind of brushed, airy look. So here's with it off and then here's with it on. And again, to get the most out of this, you want to definitely use a tripod. Now the last mode, Star Track, you're going to want to use this in basically pitch black settings. For most situations like here, it's going to be way too much light to really take advantage of this. So if you're in a situation like me, I would suggest going to Pro mode, drop the ISO down to 50, and then from there, mess with your shutter speed time. Anywhere from 5 seconds up to 15 seconds should get you results like this. So next up at number 4, with the Mate 10 Pro and its private space feature, you can actually log into 2 separate user accounts using just your fingerprints. To enable this, head over to settings and then security and privacy, scroll down, enter private space. You're gonna wanna select enable. From there, it's gonna ask you to create a PIN and then confirm that. Once that's done, you go ahead and enter your fingerprint that you're gonna use solely for this profile. So that's pretty much it. You now have access to 2 separate profiles, so you can see when I'm using different fingerprints, it will actually log into 2 separate user accounts. This is really cool if you want to use one profile for work, one for personal, or maybe you have a kid that you want to hand your phone to and not worry about them getting into anything they shouldn't. Unlock it with one hand, get your phone back, and then you're easily back into your main account. So the last trick is to help you get a little bit more out of the fingerprint reader on the back, and you might not have known this existed, but if you head over to settings, head over to security and privacy, tap the fingerprint ID icon, and then all the way to the bottom, there are slide gestures. So go ahead and turn on show notification panel and turn on browse photos. And from there, you can now swipe down to access notifications with your fingerprint reader, which is actually really convenient. Conversely, if you're in photos and you're browsing, you can swipe left or right to kind of swipe through your photos, which is also really handy. And because this is such a big phone, instead of having to swipe all the way towards the top of the phone, having that really conveniently located where your finger is naturally resting is a really handy feature. So hopefully you guys enjoyed these tips and tricks. Again, make sure you guys check out the Mate 10 Pro, which I will drop a link to down below. Thank you guys very much for watching. This is Jonathan, and I will catch you guys later.